What's going on, guys? Today we'll be talking about another video about Abba. So we're gonna kick off with 1976. So in 1976, Abba finally and firmly established themselves as one of the most popular groups in the world. Hey, make sure you subscribe, by the way. Let's continue. The various hits, compliments, or whatever, acquired the world during this period, entitled Greatest Hits or the Best of Abba, depending on where you lived. Become global blockbusters. I'm stuttering like an idiot. My bad. Alright. Classic single releases such as Fernando and Dancing Queen topped the charts all over the world, including the U.S. In 1977, Dancing Queen was Abba's only stateside number one. In late 1976, Abba's fourth album, Arrival, was released. The album stormed up the charts and spawned hits such as Money, 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 Knowing Me, Knowing You, was followed by a concert of Europe and Australia between January and March of 1977. The tour was a complete success with capacity or whatever houses everywhere. Whenever the tour reached to Australia, work was also begun on the feature film Abba, the movie. The premiere of the film in December 1977 coincided with the release of Abba, the album. Hits from the hits from the album. Ugh, so easy. That's so easy. Ugh. All right. So again, let me just say that phrase again. Okay. So hits from the album included The Name of the Game, Take a Chance on Me, and we're gonna jump into 1978. The spring of 1978 saw. So in the spring of 1978, again, the group embarking on a major promotional campaign or whatever in the USA, leading a top 3 single with Take a Chance on Me and a top 20 for Abba, the album. The hit singles Summer Night City and Chiquitita were followed by Abba's 6th album. Voulez-Vous was released in April 1979. Earlier that year, Bjorn and Agnetha announced their divorce, but this did not mean the end of Abba, but it did overthrow their image of two happy music-making couples, you know? All right. And then this is where we kick into 1979, and 1980 is Agnetha's and Bjorn's divorce. I think we talked about that. I think we talked about their divorce. Or did we? I don't think so. Not yet. Abba's single Gimme Gimme Gimme, A Man After Midnight, was released in the autumn 1979, and concluding with a merger tour of Canada and the U.S. again, and Europe. All around the same time, a second compilation album, Greatest Hits Volume 2, became an international success. All right, now we're gonna jump into 1980. Later, so I just got a lot of words to say in 1980. First of all, 1980, Agnetha and Bjorn was divorced, and really, Agnetha. I mean, I don't know if Agnetha had another man that year or married to another man that year. I would think that same year that Agnetha probably, because I heard Agnetha marrying another man. I don't know, that has to be somewhere in the 80s or something. But I'm not too sure if it was 1981 or 82, something like that. I'm not sure. But honestly, Agnetha, I think she married another man in the 80s again. So this is Abba in Japan. Now and probably the end of This started actually in 1972 that they went to Japan. And they went to Japan in 1972, and like it was actually the same time. It was probably like October, November, something like that. And then 1978, I think it was probably Thanksgiving 1978 when they went to Japan. And then probably early 1980, I heard that early 1980 they went to Japan to do their tour. So, and that says in March 1980, ABBA took their tour to Japan for what turned out to be the very last live concerts in front of a paying audience. The rest of the year was devoted to the recording of ABBA's next album, Super Trooper, containing classes hits like The Winner Takes It All and the title track. I don't know, 1980 was kind of quick. Alright, 1981. Now we go into 1981. Now, 1981, one of us. Alright, so so we're not talking about one of us yet. That can wait. Well, I might say it in a second, but first let me do this and that. Let me just do this. So it says in February 1981, the final blow was detailed to ABBA's happy couples of image of the 1970s when Benny and Frida announced their divorce. This still didn't stop the foursome from working together. At the end of the year, ABBA's 8th album, The Visitors, was released, with One of Us as its biggest hit single, whatever. So, yeah. Alright, let's jump in the 1982. Well, 1982 will be our last year. Well, it'll be our last area to talk, and then we'll be done with the video for the day, for the week. And then we'll talk about then we'll talk about the 90s, and then we'll talk about 1990 and after. But that's gonna come, or I don't know. We'll talk about from like 1990 to 2020, which is gonna be a long time. And yes, again, I repeat, we're gonna be talking about our next video about this will be. Yeah, honestly, we'll be talking about for a long time. So it's gonna be a long video for an ABBA documentary, and yeah. So here's 1982. Through the course of 1982, the energy was gradually running out of the group, as Bjorn and Benny set their sights on running the musical chess, and Agnetha and Frida were arriving their solo careers. The only ABBA LP release this year was accomplishment of double album of their singles, entitled The Singles, the first 10 years, including 2 new songs. Although the singles, it has The Day Before You Came and one of the group's most accomplished recordings. It failed to become a worldwide hit on the scale, and they had been used to. Okay, I'm just looking at it. At the end of 1982, ABBA decided to take a break if they wanted to. They reasoned they could always get back together after a few years, which that never happened. Which I mean, it was more like 3 decades. So yeah. We're gonna stop right here, and then we're gonna start off from Gold to the 40th anniversary of Super Trooper. And And yeah, we'll be talking about the story of Abba in 3 decades. Like, that's so crazy. So yeah, make sure you go subscribe, turn on notifications, like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.